Welcome back, empaths, to this session. Empaths, creators, and other magical people. We're going to do a very essential session and conversation about keeping your power. Okay, this conversation was actually inspired by something that happened this morning, right? We're having breakfast, excuse the background, right? The background harmonies. So this morning I'm walking through a hospital very close to where I'm staying, right? It's more convenient to walk through that hospital. Also, I left an personal item of mine there. So I decided to walk through one of the medical centers, I should say, nearby. Look for what I left and leave, right? So I'm walking in, I look around at the table I was sitting on, I don't see it, so I'm headed out the door, right? I might have spent all of 3 minutes at the hospital, right? I've got a cap on, some shorts, and I'm walking out the door. So as I'm walking out the door, I noticed this slightly older woman who might work there because she had uniform on, come to the door and look at me and say, "Can I help you?" So I look back because I'm like, I know she ain't talking to me because I definitely didn't ask anyone for any help. And I says, "Who are you?" "Oh, I'm, something. I forgot I think she's one of the nurses." And she says, "I don't see your uniform. Are you a visitor?" Now, I had a thought to flash my badge. I actually have a badge because I'm a police officer family, right? Someone in my family's a cop. But my mind was like, no, don't even do that for her. I looked at her and I said, "Excuse me, I'm going through that door." She's like, "Oh, well, no, this is the employee exit," and she starts going on about it being an employee exit and da 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 da. You see, I wasn't in uniform, you see. So I didn't look like her, I didn't look like them. And so even though her path was clear, right, to go into work, it's 8 in the morning, I'm not in your way. I'm actually clearly going for the door. I'm clearly leaving. She felt the need in the break of morning to stop in her tracks and question a stranger, a total stranger, about whether they belonged there. This wasn't a security guard. She damn sure wasn't a cop. Just someone who worked there. And I said, wow. Now, mind you, this was the 99th time that has happened this year. And I don't jump on social media and discuss things that are, number one, already being spoken about all over the internet. But I like not to pour and give more energy to a problem. But I said, nope, this is the perfect time. We're dealing with empaths in this season, right? And I'm like, empaths especially are going to go through this, especially as they're taking their power back. They're going to experience maybe a 10 times surge of energy of people trying to take back that power that you're taking back, right? People are going to go right in and try to cause you to doubt everywhere you turn. I experienced that this week. But back to what happened this morning, I said, wait a minute, here's a total stranger looking at someone that doesn't look like them and deciding that it's their job to question them, right? "May I help you?" Even though I was going my way. Mind you, there were 7 other people walking by and they were like, "Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning." They all worked there. They didn't have a problem with me just being there, right? They weren't bothered by my presence. And so, again, this has happened on a deeper level this year, repeated to me, where people who absolutely don't know you feel like they have a natural right to question you. Okay, even though you're doing absolutely nothing wrong, you're definitely not in their way, just like me and the woman this morning. And I just sort of dismissed it because I wasn't going to engage a total stranger. I could have flashed my badge. And, like I said, I can walk into different spaces and not be questioned at all. But even without the badge thing, I wouldn't need a badge. I'm a human being. I'm going in my direction. Go in yours. If I had $1 for every time that's happened to me, I've been literally a multimillionaire. I'm talking about throughout my life, right? Or I just would have had a lot more than I have right now. And what I'm saying is we don't address these things when they happen. And these are the ways that people take a little bit of your energy and your power every day. Now, the woman was just a woman. It wasn't something that, was even worth making a big deal about. But take these little instances. Think about a moment in your life where someone you didn't know thought they had the right to question you. Okay, we'll get into social media, right? Because that's a big area where this happens, where total strangers feel like they have agency over you somehow, simply because they see you. Now, in this instance, you could have been somewhat indifferent. There might have been some class hierarchy there. She was also a Caucasian woman. Who knows? It could be all kinds of toxic entitlement energies involved. Because again, you don't know me. I don't have to answer you, right? In fact, I was wearing a mask and she wasn't. And so there were all types of red flags, right? And buzz issues buzzing around where I could have made an issue about it and flipped it and said, I feel like you're talking to me. You're not 6 feet away. Maybe I feel like I'm being harassed. But this happens. I know this happens. It's happening now. Someone this morning, especially as you've taken your bath, empath, or excuse me, you've taken your power back, empath. That was funny. People are going to test you and be right there, just ready. Okay, to try and ration that energy back in their direction. When you take your power back, those who used to take you for granted, not just strangers, people in your life, they're not going to be very happy about it. This is not going to be, a rejoicing kind of thing. People are going to be angry. Those who we attracted, that we gave our energy to and our time to, God knows what else to, unfortunately feel like they have a natural right to you. They're going to be pissed. Where do you think you're going? Right? It's an inconvenience for them. You might have been, a major doormat for them. Who knows? Not that you were that. Or a major convenience or a major, ego boost. Who knows? What are the reasons that people, seek quote unquote agreeable people, right? To feed off of basically. But they're not going to be happy about it. I'm experiencing this now. My cutoff game is, literally, I'm a straight professional with cutting people off, both on social media and off of social media. We'll go deeper into the cutoff game in another session. But the point is, as you're setting new boundaries, expect your challenges to 10x. Okay, everywhere you turn, someone's going to be trying to cause you to question or trying to, subtly take some of that power from you. Keep your power. Okay, just like the total stranger woman had no right to question me this morning at all. She felt she had a natural right, though. Why is that? And I'm sort of glad the universe let it happen that way because, like I said, there were at least 12 people before that who just simply said good morning. You have a choice. Okay, empaths, creators, other magical people. I'm going to go into another quick example. Not a big one. Just had a conversation this morning with someone that I finally told that I wasn't really interested in having any type of personal relationship with them. But I realized for years, simply because of not wanting to hurt that person's feelings, I let this ongoing it was remote, but a very remote back and forth, just conversation after conversation that actually, if I look at it and if I'm honest, were completely draining or maybe keeping me in the past. And I'm like, why do I feel the need to invest time in conversations or just communicating with someone where the conversations are not going anywhere? It's always a push and pull because my mind and the way I think is totally different. And the way I live, totally different than them. But because of that false training, okay, that they do, not only with empaths, but because of that false training about being agreeable, right, and being a nice person, there's all this energy and time being wasted on useless communication. If I'm honest, most of those conversations, most of them were somewhat draining, and I'm like, you can be nice, hey, have a great day, check on people, no problem, but keep it brief, because time is more valuable than money. This is one of my I'm just getting this over the last 2 years. moment because it's the only thing that we can't get back. And so I'm like, wow, all of that time invested, right, in going nowhere conversations simply because of not wanting to be mean or thinking I'm going to hurt someone's feelings. And so we keep swapping our well being for other people's convenience all the time. And it's because of false training. Okay, we do not have to be nice people at our own expense. Okay, I'm big on kindness, not at your own expense though. One of my great aunts, she's completely miserable right now because she left a beautiful apartment, moved back to this dump just to take care of a husband who never shows up, ever. According to her, he was always MIA with different, I'm not gonna go into his personal life, but there's no reciprocation, no appreciation, and I'm like, why would you leave your very comfortable life to care for someone who has no time for you? He shuts her out. When he's mad, he just doesn't talk to her, and I'm like, and you've got sisters, you've got kids, you've got other people that can help him. He's not totally sick, but he needs companion. And I'm like, this man is miserable to you. Get some help. And she's miserable, right? Sacrificing herself for someone who doesn't care, who doesn't do the same. And I'm like, I'm not going to be like that. She's knocking on 70. And I'm like, nope. And I know that the universe showed me that relative because that is where people end up when they live their life, right? Trying to please people at their own expense. And this is something I broke all the way out of. It took time though. Why? Because society is trained to control other people. Society is trained this way. I'm going to prove it to you. Each moment, and I'll do another extended version of this. Each moment when we wake up in the morning, right, what are we looking at? We're in our Instagram feed. Kylie Jenner, right, spent this amount of money on plastic surgery, right? None of our business at all. This person, right, had a secret rendezvous affair with that person or a secret wedding. Every day, every hour, society is training us to think that other people's personal movements are our business, right? And so I'm going to show you where it comes from. Society trains people, right, to be wildly intrusive to other people. Like it's normal. This has been going on. Right now it's Facebook and IG. But before Facebook and IG, it was happening on the news or in the tabloids, right? So much so, everywhere we turn, somebody else's what this person spent on their car. Who's that person's net worth? What's that person's net worth? Right? So every morning we're being fed with other people's personal data without even asking for it. And so we normally think now that I guess everyone's business is my business. Right? That's incorrect training. It's conditioning, it's programming. And that's why people naturally feel like they could be, like I said, wildly rude and intrusive. Let me give you another example. I was doing a video the other day. I think this is why I turned off comments. But I was just doing a video on a topic. I don't remember the topic. It was about it was a reaction video of sorts. Fine. And someone just, comes off out of nowhere and says, oh, where your man at? Something. Just ask me something about my personal life, my man, who knows? I didn't answer him. I'm like, wow. First of all, he's clearly not listening to what I'm saying in the video. But I'm like, who are you? Who are you, first of all? I get this a lot. I'm making a post about one thing. Because I'm a female and I guess they're wondering who's in my life, who's not in my life. But it wasn't that he was wondering, it's the fact that he boldly, and he was very rude about it. Right? Like, why am I doing a video by myself? Where's my man at? I'm like, who are you? And why do you think I owe you that information? I see this all the time. We'll do a separate one because social media deserves its special attention. But social media is the other place where people are trained to think they have a right to your personal information and they don't. Okay? Unplug from the programming. Facebook and IG, they're just platforms. It's not that serious. And it's not your right to control strangers' movements or know what it is that's going on in their life. I hope you're noticing the environment. It was totally quiet before I started this video. Okay? It's subconscious. But again, these things will happen. The minute you start your journey and start to emancipate yourself, expect, okay, others around you who once felt the right to take your power, they will kick and they will scream. And every time you turn around, someone's going to be trying to take that power back. Keep your power, okay? Stick to your guns, stand your ground, and I'll see you in the next session.